I'd like to thank Miss Morley for all of the love, support, and care she's provided me throughout my Carlton experience. When my uncle was suffering with cancer, she was always there for us. She actually used her talent of her voice to sing at a benefit for my uncle, so we really appreciate that. She's taught us that tough times don't last, but tough people do. Thank you, Miss Morley.
Je veux dire merci à Madame Perrault pour toute de l'aide qu'elle m'avait donnée avec les mathématiques, puis merci d'être toi.
I want to thank Mr. Homan for supporting me throughout high school and being a wonderful friend and mentor.
I would like to thank my grade 12 chemistry teacher, Mrs. Grassick, for pushing me to do my best both inside and outside of school, and for being a big part of what inspired me to become a teacher.
I want to thank Miss Miller for making English exciting.
I would like to thank my grade 8 teacher, Mrs. Harriet, for inspiring me to do better and making seemingly difficult things a lot easier.
I'd like to thank my grade 8 English teacher, Miss Sanoski, for always inspiring me to keep a positive outlook on life.
I would like to thank Mr. Fay for being a funny teacher and for putting up with a lot of the students' crap, and I'm sorry for spoiling The Walking Dead for you.
I would like to say thanks to all my rugby coaches for giving me the opportunity to make a difference on and off the field. They've always been a great help for me, and I just love it.
I would like to thank Miss Anderson for always pushing me to my artistic limits that has now influenced my career choices.
I would like to thank Mr. Broughton, Mr. Bergen, Mrs. Shank, and Klingenberg for making classes more enjoyable than all the others.
I want to thank Mrs. Zaberschuk for putting up with me in grade 9 ELA and social, and showing me that skipping class will take me nowhere.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Grassick for teaching me the value of hard work and, of course, Red Rover, we call one hydrogen over.
I'd like to thank a lot of teachers, both the ones I liked and the ones I didn't, because regardless of what opinions I had about them, they all taught me something or other. But some of them that I would like to thank a lot were Mr. Dormith, Mr. Fay, Mr. Harder, Mr. Armitage, Miss Hex, Miss Pete. They really helped when I had struggled. When I was struggling trying to express myself and stuff, and they're just really understanding teachers.
I want to thank Miss Miller for teaching the English class properly.
I want to thank Mrs. Manili for helping me understand math. I would like to thank Mrs. Amies for always believing in me and for the support she's given me over the past 4 years. And for Mrs. Burlon for making my worst subject, science, the best, probably best science class I've had in the past 5 years I've been here.
Thank you to one of my grade 7 teachers, Madame Blay. You brought such a positive and encouraging spirit to our classroom and always saw the best in every student. I will never forget the parent-teacher interview where you said my writing was like a breath of fresh air. This recognition of my hard work is something I am so thankful for, because I have never stopped putting my best into my work. So thank you for your compassion and caring for every student. I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Mr. Bowden, for encouraging me to keep up my French and helping me adjust to a new place and a new school. And I'd like to thank you, Madame Manili, for offering your time at lunch hours and after school to help me, even though I'm not in your class anymore.
I would like to thank Mr. Acorn for providing me so many opportunities and believing in me. And Grassick, I liked your class so much that I tried to take it a second time, but it didn't really work out. So.
I would like to thank my grade 5 teacher, Mr. Tatro, for always encouraging me to do my best and work to the best of my ability.
A teacher that made an impact on me was Madame Blay from grade 7. Even though we only had her for a few months while our teacher was injured, she made a huge impact on me with how much she cared for us. Not only did she make sure we all understood what we were learning, but she also made sure we had fun.
I'd like to give a shout out to all my teachers who have helped me throughout the years and helped me succeed in all my classes.
I'd like to thank Ms. Morley for always really caring about our education and making all of her classes really fun. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Hicks for helping me get over my social anxiety a bit.
I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Hecht and Ms. Miller for always helping me through the hard times in high school, keeping me on track and helping me through my high school career.
I'd like to thank Madame Morton for encouraging me to stay in French over the past 4 years and pushing me to perform to the best of my abilities.
Thank you to Ms. Welsh and Ms. Gordon for all the work you put into our BEAM project. I really appreciated the opportunity and I learned so much and I had lots of fun, so thank you.
I want to thank Zoltalk for reminding me that friends come and go, but math is forever.
I want to thank all my teachers for the past years for teaching me that education is really important, and education is one of the things that cannot be stolen from us. Thank you.
I want to thank Ms. Sutton for making biology and chemistry fun. You're the best.
I just want to thank all the teachers and coaches who have helped me throughout my high school career and helped me become the athlete that I am today and also the student that I am today.
I would like to thank Ms. Miller for keeping class interesting, engaging us in intriguing conversation, and for keeping it sassy.
I would like to thank Ms. Sutton for inspiring me to love chemistry, and I would like to thank Mr. Zoltalk for teaching me not to be a swine.
I would like to thank Mr. Armitage and Ms. Shank for always making me want to come to class and always making my day a little bit brighter.
I want to thank Ms. Morley for always being a great teacher to me and always making me laugh every day.
I want to thank Ms. Bernath for encouraging me to keep making music.
I want to thank all my teachers for helping me be the best that I can be.
I want to thank Sebastian for making me get my English act together.
I'd like to say thank you to Mrs. Manette for helping me love reading.
I want to thank my mother, because I was homeschooled for most of my middle school, and when I came to high school I was pretty well prepared academically, so thanks.
I want to thank Mr. Huddleston for being a great mechanics teacher. I know that a lot of people don't pay attention to him or anything, but I have. I've learned a lot more from him in the last 3 years than I could have learned from anybody else.
I'd like to thank all of my teachers for giving me the support and their time in making my graduation possible. I would like to name Ms. Rachel Sutton for giving me the support and her time in and out of school, and Ms. Mills for pushing me past my comfort zone and showing me what life has to offer. I'd also like to thank Ms. Severschuk for broadening my interests and helping me prepare for my future. Thank you to all my teachers. I've spent a wonderful time with you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Gobe for being a good role model and for prepping me for high school.
I'd like to thank Mr. Duvall for being such a great role model and for all the things he taught me over the years.
I would like to thank Miss Amy for being there for me all throughout high school and listening to all my ridiculous rants. I'd like to thank Mr. Norris for inspiring me to pursue my love of math.
Thank you, Ms. Miller, for making Canadian English so much better than it actually is, and thank you for your cupcakes.
I'd like to thank Karen Grasick for making class something to look forward to every day.
I'd like to thank Ms. Sutton for making chem class above average and worth coming to.
I'd like to thank my grade 1 teacher, Mrs. Hug, for always putting a smile on my face.
I would like to thank Mrs. Edwards for teaching me all the different skills that she taught me, because without her I probably wouldn't be graduating today.